All right. Where's my chat box? My chat box up. Oh wow. Sorry guys, I didn't have the chat box up, so I didn't even realize there was people here. Sorry, I am on. Let me go back here and read these. Good morning, Anne. I'm sorry you missed the charm reading last night. There was a little mix-up. I was gonna do it on YouTube, but couldn't because I don't have chat over there on YouTube. And it doesn't work with this camera. This camera's set up on my laptop. And so this camera has the Buddha camera on the back side of the laptop and the front camera facing me. So to do this with the charms over the box was really hard. I needed to use the tripod, and I'm used to using the tripod via YouTube. So I thought I would broadcast it via YouTube and there would be chat functionality over there, but there's not yet at least. I don't have enough subscribers. I know that they do have lives where you can have chat. I've seen tarot readers, but those people have like 44,000 subscribers and something crazy. So I think you have to reach a certain benchmark before you're able to do that. Good morning, Ducky. Good morning, Leslie Ann. Yes, I am on. I'm sorry, I just had my chat window down. Good morning, Rose. Give it a watch, though. It's fun. It's a new way of doing it. I'll probably do it again. I had a lot of fun with it, and I will do it again probably as another pop-up for you guys. So I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. Am I frozen? I don't know. It looks like I'm broadcasting correctly. So Anne says that I'm frozen over on YouTube, but I don't know. Am I frozen? Rose is saying it looks like I'm so still on Facebook. Or is that because I was looking at my phone? I'm like a mannequin. Good morning, Basette Darlene. Thank you. I imagine you would love a read, but this morning is the morning forecast. If you actually read the description of the video, I pull a single card for the group just to look at the energy. I'm sort of like doing an energetic weather report. I do it every morning. So if you would like to get a card pulled for you personally, you can certainly book a private reading with me, or you could like my business page or subscribe to my YouTube. And when I do pop-ups, I do free readings. I do like charm readings, or I'll do free one-card pulls, but I usually do those in the evening. The morning time's reserved for the morning reading, which is for everybody involved, everybody that's watching. So the card that will get pulled today is for you and those that are watching. That's the intention. So I won't be pulling specific cards for anybody this morning. Good morning, Kristen Ravello. How are you? Good morning, Marita. How's everybody doing with your Lionsgate opening? It's pretty exciting stuff. I did a little bit of ritual this morning and I burned everything that I wrote down that's been on my altar. I did petitions and put them on my altar of things that I wanted to bring in from the new moon, and I burnt pretty much like a 7-day candle over the top of them for the last week. waiting for the Lion's Gate to open. And then this morning, I decided to take everything that I wanted and some desires that I wrote back on June 2nd that I wanted to manifest, and I burned them all, and I burned them good into the Lion's Gate, and then I buried the ashes in the earth. So I'm asking for help from both the universe above by letting the smoke float away, and asking from the earth below, Mother Earth, to also help me to manifest these things by putting the paper back into the earth, the burnt ash. Because burnt ash is actually good. That's why sometimes fires aren't bad things for forests. They will repopulate because of all the nitrogen and stuff. So, hey, Leslie Benton, good morning. And then on top of it, good morning, Karen. I got to get caught up with you guys. You guys are like... Okay. Thank you, Basette Darlene. Thank you for being understanding. I know that people that are new, they tend to be like, oh, pull a card, pull a card. And I like to pull cards, but this morning, every morning at this time, I come on and I just do like, this is your spiritual weather report. Kind of like looking at what the energy is going to be for most of us collectively throughout the day today, and how to best deal with it. On Sundays, I do 3 cards for the entire week. That's the underpinning of the week. The Lion's Gate has been lovely, I know, and I'm loving all the cat memes. I put one up in honor of the Lion's Gate last night. And you know what other major thing has opened up in amidst this Lion's Gate? Talk about planetary change. The new 90210 premiered last night. Oh my God, I missed it. But it's been so much going on with the eclipses and the new moons and the black moons and the Lion's Gate. And now we have Brenda Walsh back. I'm dying inside. Well, not dying inside. I'm actually living for every moment. But a small part of me is like, oh my God, this is just too much. Adding the re-premiere of the new 90210 and everybody's like 60 years old. I can't stand it. It's just, oh my God, the change, the planetary change is just amazing. So if this is the harbinger, or that's the right word, if this is the harbinger of the things that are to come out of this August and the rest of this year, is like, if it's beginning with the premiere of the 90210 reboot on Fox, people, we are in for some amazing, amazing blessings. That's all I have to say. Because Shannon Doherty is back on TV. And there is nothing better than watching Shannon Doherty on TV. I don't care. And I don't care if I'm aging myself. I used to watch Charmed. I watched that show when she was a young girl with Wilford Brimley. I don't even remember what it was called. But she was always a bitch, and I loved her, and she's back. So if this video makes it to Shannon Doherty, thank you for opening the Lion's Gate for us. I wonder if she's a Leo. I wonder, can somebody look that up? I bet you she's a Leo, and that's why she has opened the Lion's Gate. There's a connection between the 90210 reboot and the planetary changes as we go into 2020. I'm telling you, 90210, that's kind of close to 20. I don't know. It's all a conspiracy this morning. But I was thinking about that this morning, and I was having a good laugh. I thought I would share that with you guys. I didn't put product in my hair yet. After taking a shower, my hair looks a little fluffy. Excuse me. Generally, as a rule, I don't even shower before doing this. So, today is a little different. I know, and let's have a moment of silence for Luke Perry. Yeah, that's kind of sad that he passed and won't be able to join that. That's too bad. But I'm just saying, I think that there's significance to that, because that is like the beginning blessing. It's like the pre-opening of the Lion's Gate door is the 90210 reboot. I just think there's just too much goodness happening that we can't deny it any longer. Fuck Trump. We don't have to focus on politics anymore. We can focus on the 90210 reboot and live a happy life. All right, so let's start with our breathing this morning, guys, and bring ourselves into present moment. The way that I like to do this is I like to go in through, good morning, Melissa. I like to go in through, and good morning, Nate. By the way, you guys, I have to say this. On Facebook, we have a member named Nate Hanson Bishop, and I have been calling her Nate this whole time. I feel such an idiot, even though there is a little mark over the E, which I've never noticed until now. So, everybody, introduce yourself to Nate, and Nate, just really quick as another thing, when you said it's pronounced Nate, explained that to Ducky. I was like, oh my God, I feel so embarrassed. I've been calling her a Nate, thinking she's a guy, and Ducky's like, oh, she's a woman. I said, yeah, and I said, yeah, her name is pronounced Nate, and she said, oh, Ducky's so stupid. She's like, is she Nate? So we had a good laugh about that, Nate, and I'm sorry about mispronouncing your name this whole time, and I hope you are a little Nate. I am, certainly. So, and it was fun rewatching the Charm video with you in my very first watch party last night. I just wanted to see how a watch party worked, and Nate sat with me and we giggled, and that's how I found out that I've been pronouncing her name wrong this entire time, and assuming she was a man. So that's pretty dumb of me. So I apologize publicly, and everybody, just so you know how to pronounce her name correctly. It is Nate. Okay, so yes, Charmed, the power of 3, and we were charming last night, and Shannon Doherty was premiering. It's all connected, people. It's all connected. It's part of the divine plan. Shannon Doherty's gonna see this video. I know it. We were charming last night while she was premiering, probably. They were probably having a premiere party somewhere in LA. She probably felt the energy of our charms. I love that show, Charmed. I used to love that show. I love Shannon Doherty. There's just something about her. She's amazing. Amazing. And I don't care what they say. Like, all the bad press, she never gave a shit. She was just like, she was kind of like Honey Badger. Like, Honey Badger don't give a shit. I will post that. Oh, that's the other thing. I'm back in Facebook jail. I tried to go, because today's the Lionsgate, I went and I did individual posts in all of my different groups of my Lionsgate pick a card to remind people to watch it today. And as I was doing it, I did like the 5th or 6th group. It was just an individual post that I would type in like, hey, today, in honor of the Lionsgate, check out this pick a card. And Facebook froze me, and I'm frozen for a week now. So the punishment is getting more strict. Like, I guess each time I get thrown in, they're leaving me on sharing limitations. Like, I won't even be able to comment in our own group, I think. I'm not sure. I'll have to check that. But if that's the case, I will. The whole point is I want to share this video with you about Honey Badger don't give a shit, and that's kind of how I see Shannon Doherty. She just never gave a shit. She just did her, moved on, kept it going, kept it mute and cute, always worked, stood her ground, battled cancer, and did it publicly. I mean, the woman is amazing. I don't care what anybody has to say about Brenda Walsh, but Brenda Walsh is golden in my book. So, all right, so let's take our totally random morning. All right, let's have our 3 breaths. We're gonna go in through the nose, out through the mouth, breathe deep into the belly. As we're doing that, let's bring our consciousness like to our body with the first breath, then maybe to our to our feet the first breath, to our full body the second breath, and then to the center of our head with the third breath. Okay, that's where we want to bring our attention to. As we're doing that, if we can also multitask a little bit, think about, as we're breathing in, positive energy, just bringing that in. Sometimes I visualize plus signs. It's a trick I learned from a friend of mine. He's a medium named Kennedy Morgan. He's amazing. Check him out. But he taught me about that. Like, you just put like plus signs, just envision plus signs going in through your nose and filling your body and spreading out. And that's positive energy, right? Simple. And then when you exhale, imagine minus signs going out of your mouth. That's negative energy. And we're releasing that. We're releasing yesterday. We're releasing the worries of the past, releasing the worries around the future. And we're getting into the present moment, into the center of our head to better hear the message. Okay, so let's do that now. And 3 breaths signifying the mind, the body, and the spirit. 1 for each. Okay, to honor each of them today, to start off our day. So let's inhale deeply through the nose, all the way into the belly, starting now. Bring your attention to your feet and release. Let all of that air out. Like, push it out. See those minus signs leaving your body. And inhale a second time, deeply into the belly, through your nose. See those plus signs filling your body and multiplying. And bring your awareness to your body, your attention to your full body, where you are right now in this present moment, and release that air. And one more time, inhale deeply through the nose. And bring your attention to your head, the center of your head, the space right behind your eyes. This is where your pineal gland lives. This is where your clairvoyance is. This is where your third eye is. Just bring your attention there. Try and let it rest there. And if you can't get it quite there, that's okay. Just keep your attention on yourself and release that breath. When you're ready, open your eyes. And hopefully you're a little bit more in present time. Oh, Shannon Doherty is an Aries, but that explains the fiery nature. Aries is a fire sign. She's close to Leo. I wonder if we could get her chart if she has shit in Leo. I have a feeling she's tied to this whole Lionsgate thing. I don't think it's just a conspiracy. I think there's something to it. 90210 breaks, and then the whole planetary thing is gonna go wonky. Watch. The other thing is there's also real big significance around the 11th and the 12th of this month too. I can't remember why, but I was reading that about the cosmic portal opening up, and then the 11th and the 12th. Is that when we have it's not the next new moon? I don't know. You know what? I'm not an astrologer. I just kind of go by it. I'm having fun with it all and praying to the universe just to play with me. And let's have fun. Let's have joy. Let's enjoy what we got going on. You did. You know the honey badger video? Awesome, Kristen. I love that video. That's how I want to live my life. That would be my spirit guide. 1111. Let's hear it for 1111 on Kristen's side. Angel numbers. All right, let me ask Spirit for a card for today for the group, for those that not only are watching presently, but that come across this video. What is the energy that we need to know about today that will help us to best achieve our highest good? What is it that we need to know about today? Be on the lookout for the Lionsgate 88 double infinities, guys. 88. It's kind of like the master of the master numbers in a way. I mean, I know that they say that the master numbers stop at 22, maybe 33 might be one, but I'll take 88. Infinity times 2. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to say this. The shuffle feels a little heavy. It's fine. It feels heavy in that sort of grounded way to me. So I'm going to say my suggestion is whatever you're doing today, make sure you stay as grounded in whatever it is as possible. It's going to make it easier for you to utilize the sort of the energies that are at hand that I feel like will be kind of maybe a little bit on the powerful side today. Or at least exciting, you know? So the pace feels like it might be a little bit on the slower side today. It doesn't feel like the cards are flying together. It feels like they're more moving slower, methodically. That's why it feels sort of grounded to me. So stay with that grounded energy during this portal shift, I guess. The portal does stay open for a few days, I believe. Maybe that's why the 11th and 12th have significance, because maybe that's when the portal closes. I don't know, but shit, you know, whatever you believe, you'll receive. So just have fun with it. All right, Spirit, thank you. Let's see what card we got for today, guys. Interesting. All right, so let's say good morning. I'm going to put this down. Leslie Benton, if you see 888 all the time on your clock, girl, something's up. Anyways, let's say hello to Buddha, the Buddha Cam. He's like my Ed McMahon. Good morning, Buddha. How are you? He's here to remind us about our own internal Buddhas and how to access them. Let's get this ugly cord out of the way. Sorry, we're a new operation here. We're trying to figure it out. And he also has this is the center of his head, see? So when we go here, we put ourselves into a state of meditation. So this is the goal, guys, is to get here, to be operating from here, hopefully the majority of the time. But that takes quite some time. Buddha took an entire lifetime. But here's the card for today. This is the Child of Crystals, Learner. And I don't know if y'all tuned in yesterday, to the card. Let me turn it slightly. I know. Don't drop it, Buddha, please. Okay. Funny, there's pyramids. I see pyramids right out of the gate. And I think of Stargate, and then I think of Lionsgate, and then I think of portals, and I think of weird shit coming through that we don't even understand. And Shannon Doherty's back on TV. Okay, so here we go. The Child of Crystals. Yesterday, guys, we had the Child of Cups. Interesting, right? We had the Child of Cups, which is like sort of all about, it's called Feeler, which is all about feeling one's feelings and getting in touch with one's feelings, allowing for one's feelings, being taught by one's feelings. That's the child is more of a learning space, I believe. That, in my opinion, it's a learning space. It's about trying to figure out our feelings or how we are with our feelings, how to master our feelings. We're in that stage of mastery. And with all the shifts that have been going on with everything planetary and the letting go and the eclipses and everything else, I think that these cards coming up are good cards. Remember, we had that midweek Eight of Worlds change, and we're at Thursday, so the 8th. So it is the midweek. That change card might be happening for some of you, or these changes might need to take place. The Child of Crystals rules the mind. Crystals are ideas of the mind, and so, or the realm of the mind. This child is here. He's ready to learn. He's ready to explore his mind. New thought is here in this pyramid. I feel like there is a shining light here. There is new ideas. There is new inspirational ideas that we have access to, possibly, if we allow our minds to relax. Stop judging ourselves, stop being an ego, use our mind as a tool. It's funny, I was actually praying for this in the shower this morning when I was sort of talking to Spirit and doing what I do. I asked to have my mind be used as a tool to inspire and not necessarily judge, to be sort of more, I don't know, like just to be more utilized as a tool than what leads my life. And that's what I'm trying to get away from. I want Spirit to be more in charge and my mind to sort of be like the backup. The mind and the body are the sort of like, if we, this is going to be stupid, but I'm going to take you to another place and date myself. All right, remember the monogram for Charlie's Angels where they had the one girl like with the gun over here and the one girl with the karate chop in the middle and then the one girl with... So if that's the mind, body, and the spirit, the karate chop one in the center, that's the spirit. I want her to be karate chopping the shit out of my life. And then the other two are my mind and my body on other side, like flanking her, like ride or die bitches, okay? That's what I'm looking for in my life today. If that makes any sense. Oh, and it's Charlie's Angels, so that's good. That works for me with my angel chair and my love of angels. I'm okay with that. I need that tattoo, I think, on my body. Anyways, wow, I am feeling this energy this morning. So I'm going to say this. Those of you that have haunted past, things of that like childhood traumas, this is this corner up here, this darkness, which we all have, okay? There's no judgment here, but we all have this sort of area going on in our life. I feel like we're letting go of it, or we're starting to learn how to break free of it. This is this new inspired thought. It's closer to the boy to me, so it feels like we're maybe like over half of this card, 3/4 of this card is all about light, new inspired thought. There's another crystal pyramid down here. We're starting to sort of take our mind and channel that energy and understand that our thoughts have power. Our thoughts are like essentially energy. They are energized and they create the reality that we live in. So we're letting go of this old sort of scary, spooky, fear-filled thought process, and we're learning a new way of being. That's why we are in this state of the Child of Crystals. Yesterday was the Child of Cups, which was feeler. We were learning a new way to sort of allow our feelings to be enthusiastic. This also, what the Child card says to me, we can be enthusiastic about our thoughts. We can be playful with our thoughts. We don't have to let our thoughts be frightening or scary to us. We can have them and like, I don't know, entertain them and play with them, be creative with them, be inspired by them, be enthusiastic about them. And if stuff that is darker creeps in or is scary or angry or you know, shameful or anything that's of a lower vibration, that's okay. We all have that, and we can acknowledge that and allow it to be there, but it doesn't have to rule us. It doesn't have to be the part of us that is the major whole, right? I don't want you to necessarily negate your past or brush it off and say, oh, it's all going to be fine, and if whatever you focus on, it'll be better, right? Some of us have legitimate pain or sadness that we will heal and need to heal, but part of it is we have to be open to healing it, and we have to be in acceptance of it. And that's part of that upper corner of the card, is allowing the acknowledgement of that and the acceptance of that, but not necessarily living from that place anymore. Learning to live from a new place of inspired thought, learning to live from a place that is more open-minded and filled with wonderment, like a child, right? I think that these things, the reason why all of these child cards are coming up, is because it's like I think that it's a spirit telling us, okay, kids, let's start to change. Let's change our thoughts. Let's change how we deal with our thoughts. Let's change how we hold our thoughts. Do we judge our thoughts? Are we in resistance to our thoughts? Are we, in agreement with our thoughts? Let's look at that. Are we thinking our way into a better existence, or are we thinking our way into, what are we thinking our way into? Putting our attention on what we're thinking about. And sometimes it's interesting, Eckhart Tolle in his book, not Brave New World, but The Power of Now, which is a mind bender, let me tell you. It's a great book, but it takes a little bit of, because he talks about getting into the now. When you chronicle your thoughts, when you he says, be a passive listener or a passive watcher of your thoughts, it's interesting if you want to stop negative thinking, you start thinking, what am I going to think next? What am I going to think next? What am I going to think next? You can't have a thought. It's this weird trick that I learned from reading that book that actually works. So if you're in a negative spiral, or you're stuck in this sort of darker area, it's okay to be to see it and to accept it and to honor it and to heal it, to love it, to give it love and go, oh, that makes up a part of me, to find the blessing of it, to understand that part of it had to happen to get you to where you are today, to get you to the knowledge that you have in your world right now, in this present moment. So it's okay, and we can release sort of the energetic charge that's on it and start to create new thought that's more inspired and more in line with sort of what's happening, hopefully, energetically, as we move into this new age and into 2020 and into this new idea of thinking. I do believe, this is just me personally, I'm really hoping that this is true, even though I believe it. I believe that some of the stuff that's so horrific that we're seeing in the world right now really is wake-up calls. It really is earth-shattering and mind-blowing, because it needs to wake us up and get us to thinking in a different place. The problem is that there's so much media attention and all of these things pulling our attention, but we get to choose where we place our attention. And it's okay to be aware, and it's okay to know what's going on in the world, but you don't want to get sucked into the trap of the fear and the worry and the distrust of your fellow man and all of that sort of stuff that they want you to sort of stay cycled in, because it stops us from growing. It stops us from evolving. And I think that we need to evolve to solve some of these atrocities that are still continuing to happen. Okay? So I have hope for the human race that we can change this, but we have to start with ourselves, right? We can't necessarily change others. And I think that's part of the problem too, is we focus on others. Oh, if they were only different, if they just weren't Muslim. Like what? If they weren't Mexican, what? It's not about them, it's about you. What do you need to do to change? And I think that you guys already know this, right? I don't even have to tell you guys this, but I feel like it really is an internal job that needs to take place within each and every individual. But the more of us that actively do that and attract that to ourselves and pursue that, the faster it comes to us, the quicker we change, and the more other people notice. And as they notice the changes, their vibration will automatically start to rise up, because they'll be like, wow, There's something different about you. You feel lighter. You feel happier. Why are you so joyous? This world is fucked. I don't understand. What are you doing that's different? And maybe they'll start to follow suit. So we get a choice today, and I think the choice is to be like a child, be in our mind, look at our thoughts, allow some of the, stuff from the past to come up if it needs to, but also allow ourselves to be able to let it go and release it. It's outdated and no longer working. And there's these, these new thoughts that are coming in, new inspired thought that's shining brightly up here and in these pyramids, man. They're not messing around. And also, too, the whole Lion's Gate is around the pyramids of Giza and the position of the sun and how it shines on the pyramids. And it also has to do with the pyramids of the Mayan pyramids, I think, too. There's like a connection to all of that, which I'm not even sure what it is. But you know what? We've got pyramids in our cards. There's one here. There's definitely a golden one here. This is new thought, and also thought is channeled up and out and into the universe to create the reality that we have. So let's be conscious of that. Let's be aware. Let's be open to learning new things. The card is called Learner. Let's be open to new ways of thinking. Let's be open to new ways of creating. Let's just be open, like that portal. Let's be the Lion's Gate and roar. Like today's song should be Katy Perry's Roar. I don't know why everybody's not playing it. Maybe that's the song we need to hear today. Or for those of you of an older ilk that don't really care for Katy Perry, I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar would be a great one. I think is that Helen Reddy? I think it's Helen Reddy. If it's not Helen Reddy, it's not, is it Helen Reddy? I think it's Helen Reddy. Who's the other one that I love? Tapestry. Not Judy Collins. Oh, anyways, I can't think of her name right now. I was thinking might be her, but I think it's Helen Reddy. And the cool thing is I met Helen Reddy one time in Provincetown, and she is a lovely, lovely woman. So I actually saw her live in concert at a theater there, and I served her dinner. I worked at the restaurant at the theater, and she was lovely both nights that I served her dinner. Just what a lovely, lovely woman. So turn on I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. Let that be your anthem today. Or put on Roar today to listen to it by Katy Perry to lift your vibe and your spirit and get you into the celebration of the Lion's Gate portal opening. Big change is coming. Big, expansive change. Jupiter's about to go direct. That's part of the 11th and 12th too, is Jupiter's been retrograde. Mercury just went direct a while back on like the 2nd. Jupiter's about to go direct, and Jupiter's all about good luck, expansion, joy, plus the Leo energy of the sun, which is expansive, decadence, lovely Leo energy, right? Attention getting, bigger than life Leo energy. So we've got that happening. Those two combined. And then the other thing is what's the other thing? Uranus, which I love to say. Let me tell you about Uranus, okay? Uranus, although it's quite beautiful, can be a pain in the ass. And I believe that Uranus is going to go retrograde. And that's the bringer of secrets. That's the revealer of secrets. So we're supposed to have this expansion, and then also these like secrets are gonna be coming out. So shit's gonna like be interesting. So it's not just it doesn't stop at the 90210 premiere, people. So hold on, I think somebody just knocked at the gate. One moment. Un momento, okay, por favor. Un momento. Sí. Okay, so I need to sign off, but I do want to end with this because I always do. No matter what you're going through or whatever you're feeling, even if it's rough times or hard times right now, you can change and shift that. You can focus on the blessing. You can empower yourself. I know it may not feel like it. I've definitely had times myself where it's been harder than all get out. I mean, and I've had them even recently in the last year, in the last, 6 months. I've had times where I couldn't get out of bed, where I've had a hard time. But you know what? I have to find the blessing. And so I share that with you guys in hopes that it might help you, or some of you may be able to utilize that information. If you can find the blessing, or you can find anything even small that's a little bit more positive than whatever it may be that you're feeling, that energy alone, that small little bit of energy, you open that door, you let that in, you let that thought in, you let that feeling in, it will start to create change. It will start to change where you're at. It will start to shift your perception of where you are in relation to whatever it is that might be making you uncomfortable, or feel unhappy, or feel depressed, or whatever. And I believe that we have that power to choose where we put our attention and our intention. And those are very key. And those are the things that we need to be aware of right now. If we put our attention on the atrocities and we go, oh my God, that's awful, I don't want any more of that. The universe doesn't hear the I don't. They just hear more of that. And we keep focusing on it and then going, ah, and it just keeps it at a fever pitch. Stop. Let the people, we need to learn from these things. Yes, they're not okay, but there's not, we have to be conscious of where we put our intention and our attention, and how we use it, where we utilize it best, where does it serve us best for our highest good, okay? I'm not saying to turn a blind eye to tragedy. I'm not saying to not pray for tragic events, but I am saying that you don't need to energize the tragedy or the fear or the worry around those events any more so than that already exists. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I hope that, I wonder if, I was just thinking too, with all this pyramid stuff in Lionsgate, I'm wondering, I bet you Shannon Doherty lives in a pyramid. I would love to know that. So I'm just being a little goofy to keep it light, because there's a lot of stuff in this world that wants us not to be light. And we have to be light and stay light and vibrate at a higher place to spread more light, so that the world can be a lighter place and less heavy, depressing things can happen. All right? I love you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow morning for sure. Who knows? Maybe I might sneak on and charm some more tonight. I don't know. Watch the charm video if you haven't. Go look at my taroscopes on YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love it. I'm looking for subscriptions. Please tell your friends about it to subscribe. Hit the bell so that you are notified when I go on. We're getting close to the end of this week, and I might do midweek taroscopes or some sort of charming of the signs for midweek to make it different than the cards. I don't know. We'll see. Mid-month, not midweek. But I will figure that out soon. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all for tuning in. And I will talk to you tomorrow at least. If not, if you don't find me on later tonight. But I don't know if I can. Oh, and post this out, guys. Share it wherever you want. Smash the like button on both YouTube and Facebook would be a huge appreciation. That's a way to show support, is you just hit the like button on Facebook and hit the like button on YouTube. And I think that's it. Follow my business page if you're not already, for those of you that are new. And I am available for private readings. All that information is on the business page, or you can message me directly through the business page. But beyond that, I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope that you guys are able to play in your thoughts today and learn from your thoughts and the patterns that you're creating, and be aware that the creations that you are making can be either beautiful or they can be frightening. And I think that we're heading to a place of beauty. That card definitely says that we're heading to a new paradigm. So let's get there. And if anybody watches the new 90210, let me know if it's any good, because I don't have cable here, but I will buy it off of Amazon if it's good. All right, you guys, have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow. Blessings.